You're listening to the Burnt Offerings podcast, a show about cigars, friends, faith, and general tomfoolery. Do not take these guys too seriously. Now grab a stick, settle in, and let's set fire to foot. This is Burnt Offerings.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Burnt Offerings podcast. We are here together tonight. Your co-host here tonight, Stephen, and my brothers with me tonight are...
Hey, Stephen, Ryan's here tonight.
And Patrick's here, which means
Jason
again Jason's out.
Extricated. He felt like he should honor his wife on their anniversary.
Well, that's nice. He should.
I mean, it's not like they've been married a long time. So we are here. We are going to smoke this delightful looking stick. Ryan, you started in.
Yeah.
And what do you think it looks like? Tell everybody what we're smoking tonight.
So we're participating in the Oliva Black Swan. We've already done a Black Swan, not the Oliva Black Swan.
Yes, and it is a particular website that is building this line is Cigar Page.
Yeah, cigarpage.com.
Cigarpage.com. And so we've had the Rocky. We now have the Oliva. There's one more that we know for a fact exists.
Yeah, it's sitting in my humidor right now, just waiting for a future episode.
That's an EP Carrillo
Black Swan.
And there's talk, I think we talked about last time, that there might be another one.
Talk of more to come.
More to come.
Well, if this Oliva Black Swan and EP Carrillo Black Swan is anything like the Rocky version, yes, bring on more.
Yes.
More to come, for sure.
I am not new to this particular Black Swan, so I'm really excited about this.
You've smoked this before.
I've had this one before, yes.
So have I.
Here's the fun thing. I have as well, and I can't remember it other than it being good. Because I didn't smoke with that kind of mentality.
Exactly.
That night,
I wasn't really paying attention in the same way that we do for the podcast. I definitely enjoyed it. I'm sure I'll be reminded of, I tasted that or tasted this. But by and large, I just enjoyed the cigar, and it's probably at a poker night or something that I smoked it. So
that makes sense. It's a dark Connecticut broadleaf wrapper, not Maduroed, I don't believe, but it is dark on that Maduro side of the equation, which is exciting to me.
Yeah, you do love a dark wrapper cigar.
When they describe it as oily and dark, I get really excited. I like to.
It is. I mean, it's beautiful. It's no surprise. Kind of just dry take off the cigar. A little bit of earth.
Some kind of sweet, woody notes. Well, we got a Toro cigar here tonight, 6x52, so just a half-inch smaller than the Rocky version of the Black Swan, but same ring gauge, and again, looks, if you're familiar with Oliva, the construction of this cigar looks top-notch, very well wrapped, pretty firm in hand, nicely packed binder filler, and I'm going to punch in on this.
I was about to say, you two gents are going punch tonight.
Yeah.
Cold draw.
I've got some kind of dry cocoa there. There's a little bit of that. Reminds me of like chocolate baking powder kind of,
Reminds me of sneaking the Nesquik powder out of the kitchen into the back room of the house.
Is that the chocolate Nesquik or the pink Nesquik?
Yes, both. But definitely the chocolate.
I got a little bit of almost a tartness.
I'm not getting a ton.
Okay.
Like on the draw, on the cold draw. Like it doesn't overwhelm me like some of our other sticks have been more grassy or cedary on the cold draw. I'm not getting anything. Maybe I just ate recently. Maybe I need to clean my palate.
Boys, I'm lighting this sucker up.
I think it's time, fellas.
It's time to light up. Oh, man.
So that tartness, Patrick, that you indicated on the cold draw is presenting as sweetness.
Yep.
Now that it's been lit in that initial draw, I feel like it's the echoing the sweetness that I smelled. I don't know that I could totally place it to a particular type of sweetness, but it's good.
Gents, have you smoked a bad Oliva?
No, I have not. I've not.
They just are good all the way across the board. And I'm going to say this is going to just be right in the pocket.
Absolutely. The cocoa for me, is very pronounced.
That's exactly, I was going to say, it really is that powdered cocoa. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's kind of the sensation, if you will.
A little higher quality than Nesquik.
Yeah. But, yeah. And a
Hershey's.
decent amount of cedar, like right behind that on the nose for me.
Is that what the sweetness is, you think?
What I'm trying to figure out. I don't know. I don't know where the sweetness, I mean, some of it's kind of chocolatey. Like, yeah.
Just jumping right in. It is smooth and This is everything about a cigar that I love. This is not this isn't the pocket for me.
I'm loving this for you,
Right?
Steven. Like we've had some ones that the rest of us have really like on the show that, you know, we've been like, dude, this is up my alley. Like Jason, right? Had one that was so up his alley and I was pumped for it. I'm like pumped to hear that for you, man.
It's good. I'm not going to hate it anywhere from the beginning to the end. So,
No.
I might be done for the rest of the evening. I'll let you fellas just keep talking about it. So Black Swan, back to that a little bit. So is this is it a limited run, a boutique run? What phrasing do we put on something that you can only get in one place? Like you can't walk into a shop and buy these.
Yeah.
Even though it is a brand, you can see it in pretty much every shop you go to. So again, I don't know the right phrase. Is it a boutique? Is it a boutique line? Is it a limited line? Is it a...
Yeah.
What is that?
Cigar Page, you know, is doing this, but that's not unique just to this distributor. Many of the manufacturers have done limited run cigars, right? So, and sometimes that's kind of factory driven, right? The factory says, hey, we're going to do X amount. We're never going to make them again. And, you know, whether that's an anniversary blend or just a special edition, whatever. So that's not new, but it's interesting in doing some of the research and diving in like, well, why do they sometimes do limited runs? And that's the magic behind the Black Swan.
Well, and the Black Swan isn't a cigar manufacturer boutique cigar where you can go like, what did we smoke that was a limited edition when we first, wasn't the V, was it? What did we smoke?
It was it was a Rocky.
Yeah.
Wasn't it?
It was the Oliva 135th
There you
Series
go.
V.
That's what it was.
There it is.
Yes.
That's the one. And that is only an Oliva cigar. The
Yeah.
Black Swan, by Cigar Page, put these lines together, has talked to Oliva for a stick, talked to Rocky for a stick, EP Carrillo for a stick. So now you have a retailer,
Yeah, a distributor, if you will,
who has asked these different groups to build a thing for them that they're labeling the same thing.
Yeah.
So different than just a manufacturer making a limited run.
Right.
Patrick, in your description of limited, you said something that I've never considered before. As I've understood limited cigars, you said something to the effect of a limited cigar that's you know, never going to be made again.
Yeah.
I've never thought of limited cigars in that way. I've thought of them in terms of more small batch. Like we're going to make 100,000 of this cigars for 2025. They're limited.
Right.
We're going to do it again.
They won't ever do it again for 25.
Correct. But we're going to do the same cigar in 2026. And we maybe don't even list it as limited per se, or give it a limit by, you know, this is the 25 version, this is the 26 version. I've never thought about limited though, in the sense of this is the only 100,000 and that's it. When they're gone, they're gone.
Right. Right.
It's so in a sense, limited is kind of both of those things, but
What's kind of funny, you say such a big number like 100,000.
super small in the cigar
In the
world.
cigar world, that's not that many,
That'd
right?
be a very limited run, right?
That's like some people's private stations.
yeah.
None of ours, but...
Yeah, and it's interesting, like, understanding what happens then at the factories behind that. And that is what is happening, at least with the Black Swans. But my understanding is that this is very common of other limited editions that you might see from manufacturers is at the manufacturers, you know, at the factory, they have aging rooms, right? And that's inside, you know, we hear this term bodega, right? So sometimes you hear bodega blends. What that really means is a factory blend. That's a blend, you know, that came out of the factory.
They're not going to the gas station in New York City corner.
Right.
They go down to the bodega.
Right. You got it.
Get you a Swisher.
Yeah.
That's not it.
Similar, right? But not the same, right? Yeah. So with Black Swan, they've gone into the Cigar Page has gone into the manufacturers and just said, "Hey, within the warehouse, what do you have that you either don't have enough to do a regular run of, or you know, a lot of times in those aging rooms, they'll try different crop variations, right? To see how they do. They'll try different plantings or different aging processes or fermentation processes. So there's a lot of experimentation that happens there as well. And this is what's kind of either left over or wasn't big enough to do kind of even a full run of. And Cigar Page has gone to them and said, "Hey, we'd love to have you try something with that. And when they're done, right?"
The origin of the stick is Nicaraguan. The filler is Nicaraguan. The binder is Ecuadorian. And then the wrapper which is the Connecticut Broadleaf, which I enjoy thoroughly. I'm getting, if I get it up into my palate, that chocolate just comes barreling out.
Yeah.
It's even more than it does if you just roll it around in your mouth. If you can get it up, for me, if I can get it up into my nasal cavity, I can pick up that chocolate even heavier than I did before. We have a coffee shop we frequent.
Indeed, we do.
And I walked by the young lady that was roasting today. She's a friend, so I chit-chatted with her, and I'm watching her watch the numbers. And you describing small batching and experimenting with the way, like, I mean, they're obviously not. Maybe they are. Maybe they're running computers on stuff in an aging room. I don't understand.
Right.
Would love to go walking through something like that.
Sure.
Probably.
I actually would bet they are, Stephen, right? I mean, you've got temperature control. Like, if I'm fermenting anything, I want it at a certain temperature. Like, they've got to be, right?
Right. And I'm saying to her, like, well, what are you doing right now? And she had a little cup of beans just sitting there. And I go, what are you looking for? She goes, they got to look like that. I said, so this is art or science? She said, yes.
Yeah.
Right. So she's got some numbers on a computer running through. But then she every once in a while pulls out the scoop and goes, oh, no, not yet.
What's it look like?
So this has got to be like, if I'm experimenting with something and somebody calls me and I agree and I'm the Black Swan guy and I'm going to make it, am I experimenting with something that I normally wouldn't do?
It's a great question.
If I go to Oliva and find another one of their sticks, is it Nicaraguan, Ecuadorian, Connecticut broadleaf, or this is the only way they do that? I don't know.
Yeah, I think that's a good, I think the comparison is really good when we see other, sometimes in the industry, what's referred to as like boutique cigars or these limited edition runs of understanding like, okay, that's what we're talking about. We're talking about like, can I ever get it again? But also, how special is it?
Yeah.
Right? Like, how much did they experiment? How much was this the really, hey, we know we can get like the perfect leaf, but it's so low yield that it's not worth it, right? Yeah. I mean, I wonder if there's situations like that where they're just saying like, yeah, we did it once, but like we kind of lost our shirt on it, and now there's a pile in the corner.
Right, but when they built the G, they want to be able to crank out 2 million of those a year. 5 million, however many they need to crank out, and you can get a G anywhere. Right, you can get an Oliva G. They're everywhere. They're the same. You pick them up, you smoke them, and go, yep. Yeah, the quality is there every time. Right,
you can get an Oliva G in the cabinet humidor in any given grocery store around the country.
Or a golf course, or which is great because that's kind of like their bread and butter.
Yeah. And you know what you're getting because it's consistent every time.
Very consistent.
Right. Shop to shop, state to state. It's consistent all the time. And, there may be somebody with a very refined palate may go, oh, there's subtle differences here and there. But your average cigar smoker is not going to be like, well, I smoked a G 3 months ago, and boy, it was whatever compared to this one. This one's they're all good. They're all the G. Right.
So the question for us though is, I mean, we are smoking by definition a limited edition. This entire series on Black Swan is a limited edition experiment for us.
So what you're telling our listeners is, if you want one of these, don't wait.
Do not wait to order.
Go to cigarpage.com now and get yourself a couple and enjoy.
The real question for us then is, even as we're smoking tonight, but also thinking back through some of those maybe limited editions that we smoked but not really given consideration to, is it, what makes it special then? Do I smoke it differently? Do I perceive it differently because I know I won't smoke it again? Is this all psychological? And same deal, think about it. When you've picked up those limited editions in the past, what made you do it? Is it because you loved the regular edition and you thought there's going to be something different about it? Like, what's the psychology behind this? Because it's definitely a thing that happens in the industry. This is just Cigar Page's version of it.
Right. Well, you definitely had me feeling slightly jerkish, for lack of a better word, for all the limited edition cigars I've just willy-nilly burned through without actually pausing to care and to savor and to really, truly enjoy more than I did. I feel a little...
It sounds like you need to recheck. You need to process your life.
It sounds like I
need to go. You need to think this through.
I need to go back and start over.
I mean, in fairness,
that one again, and that one again, and that one again.
All three of us are already guilty of this. At the top of the show, we said all three of us have smoked this stick before, and I did not hold it with any reverence of Probably because I didn't even read the description when I ordered it, right?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Well, if you would have asked me prior to right now, hey, Black Swan, what'd you taste? A good cigar.
Yep.
I would never in a million years have been able to say cocoa.
No.
But I promise you, for a while down the road, when somebody says, talk to me about the Oliva Black Swan, I'm going to go, well, do you like cocoa? Because it's got some good cocoa notes to it.
And I will say, we have talked about cedar a lot.
Yeah.
And the handful of these that we have done so far, and I'm getting 0.0 of cedar out of this personally.
It's faded. I'm a half an inch in, and that cedar sweetness has just faded away.
I mean, it is coming in heavy with the chocolate cocoa smoothness.
Yeah, very smooth.
This is very smooth.
And if you said you had to smoke that again, I'd be like, yes, please.
Yeah.
Yeah, this has been a very inviting kind of, first inch here of the cigar.
It's interesting to me. I remember again I think I've shared this before. When I first got into cigars, I didn't know anything, so I was just hungry for information. I would go out, I'd smoke alone, I would take a journal with me, I'd take all kinds of notes. I would really pay attention. And you can ask me about some of those early day cigars, and I can still tell you about those with a little more detail of either maybe what the wrapper origin was, or some of the tasty notes. And I maybe haven't smoked some of those cigars in over 10 years.
Right.
But because I was paying attention, I know them. And now, certainly in the last 10 years, I'm like, I smoke a lot of different cigars. And I know certain ones that I like and that have stood out for various reasons. But I don't know that I could go into the level of detail and go, oh, cocoa, you're going to get that with this stick or cedar or, plum or whatever. Which Stephen wouldn't know what a plum tastes like. So.
Yeah, my daughter has listened to this plenty of times, and she's like, "Dad, you need to get a plum."
She's going to start.
She's going to mail
sending
me
you
one.
a fruit basket full of plums
every time. She's like, "Do you taste oranges, Dad? Here's an orange."
The amount
Eat some fruit.
of Burnt Offerings podcast swag I have in my head from things that Stephen has.
My lovely wife has said, you need to put that on a shirt. Multiple times.
I'm here for that.
Multiple times.
Stephen wouldn't know what a plum tastes like.
Just a bowl of plums. Just a bowl of plums. It's just a picture of a bowl of plums.
We did say that in the past episode. We just need to have a fruit bowl of plums on the center of the table.
Oh my gosh. And I know we're going to talk a little bit about maybe a bit later in drawing some comparisons between the Black Swans, but if you made me pick, I already can tell you this one's going to come in over the Rocky for me.
Yeah.
Personally. But
why is that?
So the Rocky seemed much more dry, not dry as in crispy, but dry as in like texture in your mouth, like drinking a dry wine or over a red wine or something like that. Just it was drier. It was probably a little more earthier than I prefer. And maybe I just like candy, but I prefer a cigar with something that leans in this direction over the other direction. And we've talked about tobacco in general. Profiles that I prefer. Like if I'm smoking a pipe, I'm not going to go smoke an English tobacco.
Right.
That just would irritate the snot out of me.
Right.
You would rather not smoke what I smoke when it comes to a pipe tobacco.
Right.
You would want.
And sometimes cigars,
Listen,
for that matter.
I can just take a cheese grater and a ball glove and scrape it down, and you would pack it into a bowl and smoke it.
Try anything twice.
You prefer that leathery.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah, I would, again, both cigars are great. I'm never going to fight about either one. But, again, only an inch in, if I had to, I'm going for the Rocky. It was spicier, had more of those wood tones to it thus far. Right. I don't mind this one bit.
But that's where you land, of course, right?
Absolutely.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
A little bit of the research talked about a smooth spice out of this, and I wouldn't even know where to pick up the spice.
Okay, so I've got it because I was just going to talk to you about that.
Can you get the smooth? What are you picking up on smooth spice?
Here's how I'm interpreting it. When Ryan said a few minutes ago, hey, that the cedar had faded, I was like, yeah. And then I was like, has it? I felt like I was still getting a little bit. And so then I was kind of, while you guys were talking, kind of trying to take some retrohales up through. And also trying to just be a little more aware. And it's exactly that. So I'm getting it on the upper back of my, like, roof of my mouth.
Okay.
When I'm pulling a little bit of smoke that direction, like trying to retrohale, there's a little bit of that spicy sensation.
Okay.
So a dull warmth, if you will. That's how I would describe smooth spice. So like, yeah, it's kind of like the equivalent of like, you know, a fast food spicy chicken sandwich. Like,
it's not really spicy.
They're
but
not really spicy. Yeah, but you know that barely hint at a heat on your roof of your mouth from the breading. That's
I don't feel good comparing this Oliva Black Swan to a fast food spicy chicken sandwich.
Just the heat from that. I mean, it's that level of spice.
I mean, we have had chicken sandwich contests before in our relationship. So we may be experts on the local chicken sandwiches around here.
Yeah, so you hear me coughing there because I'm a moron, but like I got it there, right?
Yeah. So I mean, I see what you're saying. If I go retrohale, I can pick up a little bit of heat up in the back, and can do that.
But pretty smooth still.
But still smooth, right?
Yeah. Frankly, it's actually not. Now that we're talking, you ever had spicy hot cocoa? You ever had that? Anybody ever?
No.
So sometimes they call it Mexican hot cocoa is sometimes what it's referred to.
Like a hot chocolate liquid drink.
A hottie toddy?
No, not hot.
Hottie toddy. So you're saying if I take a cup of hot chocolate, and I make it with what you're saying, a spicy cocoa,
like
and I use
a Mexican chocolate,
Mexican chocolate, right?
And it's going to be not only hot from the fire, but also hot from a cinnamon spicy.
Yeah, it's a warmth. You get that warm sensation that you get with spicy food off of a Mexican hot chocolate.
I guess I've not ever had.
So this is that sensation for me. It's very similar. It's mild, but you know, a little bit of a lasting heat right in there.
You're right. I agree. The spiciness definitely comes through with the retrohale. Still super smooth. Like, it didn't choke me up. It didn't cause my eyes to water. It didn't catch me off guard. It was very enjoyable. It reminded me a little bit of black pepper. That type of a spice.
Yeah.
So to me, I love using black pepper on just about anything that will receive it. And it has a spiciness, but again, not in the same way as cayenne or red chili or like, it's kind of a muted spicy.
We're about the end of the first third.
Okay. Yeah. Flavor has stayed steady Eddie on that cocoa, that smooth cocoa chocolate flavor. Again, the spice, only I think because of the initial retrohale, do I feel like it's there at the very far back of the palate. Softly.
Yeah. If you don't retrohale, you're not going to pick it up. Not now, I don't think.
I agree. And I'm same spot as you guys. Like, cocoa's still right in there. It's very smooth. I don't want to give anybody a false sweetness sense. It really is a cocoa, more of that cocoa powder than a true
a little astringent.
Chocolate. Yeah. Yes. Yeah, that's why that powder, there's a sensation, I guess, that we're getting at with that as well.
Mm-hmm.
And we should point out, too, this particular cigar, Black Swan by Oliva, is listed as a mild to medium. So it's not a strong cigar. The Rocky was much stronger in strength.
I agree.
Which again, genius blending here, right? It lends that mildness, lends to the smoothness of it, I believe. So super enjoyable. It's an easy smoke, I would say.
Yeah. So you guys,
like a Sunday morning.
It's very easy smoke. It's actually, this would be a fun, darker wrapper cigar to give to a person that's a little newer, because it isn't that strong.
Correct.
There's pretty good flavor and it's very smooth.
Correct.
That would be a good entry point for maybe somebody that's scared.
Especially if it makes them nervous to think, I can't smoke a dark cigar because it's going to be too strong for me. This is not that.
Yeah.
Yep.
This would be a good one to disprove that it has everything to do with the color, right?
Yeah, I had a Monte Cristo Oscuro the other day that I can't smoke because it makes me high.
You gave me that cigar. Thank you.
I gave you one.
Wait.
I gave you one, and I remember this. The last one I smoked, I was cutting the grass, and I had to stop. The lines weren't straight. It was a little. I was struggling.
Yeah, to your point of I would still caution anybody who says Like, if you haven't smoked cigars steadily for about a year, I would still stay clear of this cigar.
That's
I think
fair.
it's going to be too much
That's fair.
to be enjoyable. Unless for the last year you've smoked nothing but like dark, heavy, full-bodied cigars, and then maybe,
Right.
Another piece that I kind of came across in the research on the Black Swan series was it's not just, small batch or random fermentation or, a different growing style. That's not the only way that they get to these kind of very small blend options in those aging rooms. Another way is simply leftover product
Yeah.
from other runs.
Oh.
Maybe it's a filler from the barrel aged, right?
Yeah.
So maybe it wasn't the barrel aged ones that were in there, but maybe, a filler in there that had very certain properties that worked well in that. And maybe they had a good crop on that, for some time. And so they had more left of that. What do you do with that now, right? We only used it in there. Now we've got leftovers. So there's some of that that's happening too. And even past limited runs, maybe a portion of one of the fillers, they've still got a bunch of. And so that's where some of these lots of tobacco are coming from as well, which does change my thinking a little bit about limited editions of like, okay, maybe I do need to pay a little more attention to when manufacturers have a limited edition of something that I like anyway.
As I'm approaching the middle, I don't know if I need to clean off here or if I'm getting a whole new flavor profile. So I'll find out here in a second, but it's starting to go a little floral on me. And is that something that I should be getting, or does it just need cleaned off?
Okay. I'm gonna let you do that first before I make my comment.
That took it all away, and I'm getting a nutty flavor now. Cashew, almost, I might say.
I've never had a cashew. I'm just kidding.
Oh my gosh!
I wouldn't know what a cashew tastes like.
It's technically not a nut; it's a legume.
I almost thought the floral taste that I was on was a hint of bitter.
Yes, it was.
Which made me think, I think I need to clean off.
Yes, same, exactly.
And you're right, it cleared right off.
There's a new flavor as I am encroaching into the middle, the second, third. There's a new flavor being introduced. And again, I'm at this point in time, I'm going to say it's a peanut, just a dry roasted peanut or maybe a cashew.
I picked up a little bit of the floral thing you talked about, but then it's not there now. It's gone. It's just dried out a little bit.
Yeah.
It is a dry cigar,
right,
if you will. Are limited edition sticks worth the hype? Or are they just hype?
It's a great question. So a friend of ours asked me for a list the other day to help him buy some friends some cigars. And I kind of profiled our friends for him. And one of the things I said was, well, this guy is adventurous.
Yeah.
He likes to try things that are new because he's relatively new to the game. So get him something he's never tried because he loves to try something new.
Yeah.
If you're interested in figuring out what you like, you try things you've never tried. So then the limited edition, even if you never get it again, you will have a profile from that stick and you could say, I liked it because it was Nicaraguan binder, it was Maduroed, or it was an Oscuro leaf, or it was a Corojo leaf. It was something about it that I liked, even if you could never get your hands on it again.
So I just realized I ashed on myself. One construction point to this, and I made note of this in my notes. This has a very soft ash.
Yeah.
It's for being a what appeared to be a very decently firm packed cigar. The ash itself is very soft. It's very loose.
Sometimes what you may be getting in the limited edition or way of thinking about it, I don't think this is true every time, but one way of thinking of it is this is the cigar that we would love to make if we could do it at scale. But we couldn't do it at scale. So that's what I think, think of a broad sold everywhere, like an Oliva G that we were talking about, right? Okay, well, there's a special edition of that. There's a good chance that that's really what they wish they could make.
Yeah.
But they just can't do it at the scale that they needed to broaden the brand, right?
Yeah.
So, hey, we'll change the filler a little bit because we could supply demand for millions of these a year or whatever 500,000, whatever it is. But, If they really had it their way, they really could only sustain the supply at 150,000, whatever it might be. I don't know.
I want to see a million cigars stacked up somewhere. What a view!
I'd like to see a million cigars stacked up here in this garage.
Lord, let it be so. I declare it.
Is that name it and claim it moment? Is that what's happening right now?
If there's a prosperity gospel that fills this man's garage with cigars, all right, let me hear about it.
Oh man, if ever somebody were to give me something that I know I'm never going to smoke, let's just the really expensive. You said Opus X, that's an expensive cigar, and I read about it, and I said, I'm probably not going to like this, but it's still a $35 to $40 stick. I'm probably going to smoke it once, just so that I could go, oh, that's amazing. Probably would not smoke it if it was $10 because maybe I didn't like it like I would like a standard $10 stick that I like a lot of. But I would try it just so that I could say, oh, I've had an Opus X.
Sure.
Maybe you like them better than me, but I've had one and it seems... It's like we do this with whiskey too. Yeah. I mean, there are limited runs, or sometimes you can't get a certain particular flavor of a manufacturer's whiskey in your area,
right?
And then therefore, if I get a pour, I'm going to try it. I may not like it, but I'm going to try it.
I say this all the time with movies. It's like, I'm glad I saw the movie. I don't need to see it again.
Yeah.
But I'm not mad that I watched it.
Right.
It wasn't a waste of 2 hours or whatever. And oftentimes cigars can be that way. It's like, I'm not mad I tried that cigar, especially if somebody gives it to me, right? I had very low buy-in. Like, what's the harm in giving it a try?
Right. I agree with that. I think what is the harm in that? Give it a try.
Yeah.
I would have a hard time putting out a $35 stick and saying, I didn't like the top third
even
of that.
I'm
not going to snuff it at 1/3 through.
I've done that. Alec Bradley, I think I said this before. That's another brand that by and large, I just don't like. I've tried a few.
One that you like.
Just doesn't connect with me. And I'm okay with that because there's 1,000 other cigars and brands that I love.
Alec Bradley's, to me, are perfect. I love them as giveaways to new smokers. Like, try this. Like, I'm happy to give them away.
They're super quality, great cigars, well made. I just don't care for the
golfing too. Because again, I don't golf that much. When I do, it's a charity outing. It's and you're four or 5 times a year.
You're not sitting there wondering what the flavors are going to come through.
That's exactly right.
You're busy worrying about hitting your golf ball straight.
You got it.
And we know that doesn't happen very often.
No.
What, him hitting that golf ball straight?
No,
very rarely.
Just him hitting the ball.
That's fair.
You got to start there.
How's that cigar? I don't know. I'm hitting the ball. I don't know.
That Cohiba Churchill was longer than some of your tee shots.
Fair. Yeah. Seen it.
I'll receive that fully. That's
seen it.
You're totally right, man. You're not wrong. I mean, this is but it's funny. There are certain brands that I treat that way, right? Regardless of what blend the stick is. Now, I will pay attention. It's interesting now. So I'll ask you guys this before I finish my thought on that. Limited editions or special editions, high-end editions from brands that you typically don't hold in high regard.
Interesting question. I have one in my humidor. I haven't picked it up. I'm going to pivot away from your question for a hot second because Ryan's doing what I'm about to do. I'm about to enter the last third. Yeah. And it's gotten a little, mushy's the wrong word. What's the word I'm looking for? I've lost a lot of flavors.
It's just blended all together now.
So I'm going to blow out again like Ryan is currently doing.
I'm at the final third. It got sour again.
Okay. I'm with you. I had a bad taste. I had a funny taste in the back of my palate.
I also think what's happening there too is this cigar seems to want to be ashed. It tastes better. It's like some sticks kind of taste great when you can let that ash ride. This one wants to be ashed. If I don't ash it, if I don't keep it fresh, it does exactly that. It turns just a smidge sour on the taste. That's the right term. It's not even bitter. It's sour. No,
but we're right back.
Yeah, right. Freshen it up and it comes right back.
I'm getting some new flavors here.
What you got going?
I don't know yet. It's a little more floral. No, that's the wrong. A little more woody. Dare I say the cedar might be creeping back in?
Okay. All right. I'm getting hints of cedar hitting back.
Yeah, it's come back.
It's definitely like that's coming in. It's nowhere near some of the pronounced cedars that we've seen in other.
But it's elevating the spice.
Yes,
for me.
Okay, good. You have validated my other thought, which is
that's what I'm here for.
I can't tell if I'm getting that kind of little heat there that I had in the beginning.
It's more front of mouth though, tip of the tongue. Honestly, I would love to better understand the science of the thirds. I'll call it that. Yes. There's distinct flavor notes on the first third, different from the middle third, different from the final third. How in the world do you the blend of art and science? How does a cigar roller do that? I would love to know that.
We've smoked cigars before that they are layering, and it's not barber pole where it's like they're rolled in such a way that they look like a barber pole. That they actually are in thirds, and there's different wrappers at least on the outside, dark, medium, light, or candillus, which is green. They'll do a dark green and a light, and I can understand how that flavor profile changes.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
But how you do it when you've built a cigar that is the same tobacco from top to bottom, in the filler, in the binder, and in the wrapper, and then it changes flavors as you go through there. That's interesting.
I would think some of what would help to change flavors is the amount of heat and smoke that's being introduced, and other minerals and things that are in the tobaccos that are being drawn from the foot of the cigar at the beginning, drawn all the way through and over time.
I watched a guy the other day. I was watching a video, and he was talking about how the wrapper impacts flavor and the outer tobacco on the outside. He took a guillotine cutter, the first inch, lightly pressed it in, rotated it. Basically, he cut the wrapper off the first inch.
Interesting.
And he said, light it, smoke it. So basically, you're smoking filler binder only for an inch. And he goes, the second that wrapper catches on fire and you begin to smoke it, he goes, you will taste how the wrapper impacts the flavor profile of a stick.
Well, I would like to try that.
That'd be a fun science fair project.
Yeah, right. A lot of the sweeter end of the cocoa has faded out for me as well at this spot. I feel like that, especially the real smooth cocoa that came on early.
Yeah.
In that first third, that's pretty well gone for me now. I don't know where you guys are at on that.
I would agree. I would say this is finishing not as smooth as it started.
I agree.
Yes.
Which, going back to earlier where you said this might be good for a newer, this final third is not for your newer cigar smokers that haven't gone into, it's still mild to medium. It's not become a stronger cigar, but the flavor
has
profile
gotten stronger.
has intensified a little bit. It's a little, I hate to say this, but the word that comes, it's a little more harsh.
Yeah. And that doesn't mean that it's not a good smoke right now.
Oh, absolutely.
But it is that really speaks to the smoothness that was the beginning.
Very much so.
More than I think the harshness that we're having now. This is getting, to me, this feels more like a normal Oliva right now in this spot. Not the same as the final third of many Olivas.
Right.
But a little more middle of the road right now. Mm-hmm. Not the smoothness that really set off.
There is a flavor here, though. I can't quite put my thumb on. New flavor introduced. I enjoy it. I like it. I just can't get there as to what it is, though.
I'm trying to figure out if I'm imagining it or if it's true right now. I feel like I'm getting a little bit of that tartness that I had on the cold draw.
It's tart for me. I can't put my...
And we likened that to the cedar, right? On the cold draw?
We did.
I think we did, yeah. I'm not getting a lot of that woody cedar that you get.
This is probably not helpful at all, but my brain is being taken to like wood chips when you're smoking meat. Is it a mesquite?
It's
you know what I'm saying?
So interesting that you say that.
I feel like it's in the wood family, but it's not dry. It's not an oak.
The one tasting note that I didn't give you guys on the first, not even half an inch. Like kind of right when we lit, because we were so talking about that smooth chocolate. I had campfire is what I had off of the first, like probably 4, 5, 6, like that. It is that mesquite it's the smell that you smell when you drive back into the state park on a weekend. You know what I mean? Like, which is not the smell. Like, I know a novice might say, like, oh, that's because you're burning stuff.
Which is not mesquite because there's none here.
Right. So. And nor does a burning cigar ever smell like that. So to smell campfire-ish, that's a distinct flavor.
Jason, I wish I could remember what cigar we had sampled that night, but Jason mentioned that a few times back.
Yep.
Man, if only he were here. Happy anniversary, Jason.
Happy anniversary. I hope you're enjoying your evening with your wife.
I hope your wife is enjoying your evening with you.
That's a better phrase. That's the better. And we know the answer she's not. But I hope she's pretending for your sake, Jason.
Oh, that wouldn't be new.
No, it would not. You know, I heard it said once that you don't have real good friends unless they're making fun of you. So Jason has three really good friends. We're really good friends.
I suppose I could refer to my handy dandy notes on this and see if there's anything in the description at all that would tell us.
Does it do any describing on the final third for us, or does it just give us tasting notes as a list?
Sweet, earthy. Yep, we've got some of that.
Yeah.
Cocoa rich.
True.
But it says cocoa rich with mystery.
That's helpful.
Come on, dang it.
That's a marketing term.
We're tasting mystery, people.
Yes, and though, right? I mean, that may have been, maybe everybody that smoked this stick has been like, there's something, I don't know what it is.
I don't know what it is, but there it is.
There, right. I mean, that is at least possible. It's plausible even.
I will say it is way more earthy now than it ever was on the front end.
Uh-huh.
Way more. So when the cocoa goes away,
yes,
it leaves that earthiness there, and then the mystery comes flying through.
It's peppery for me.
Okay.
Right now. And for me, I love it. My lips are tingly. The tip of my tongue is tingly.
Yeah, I've got a little bit of the tingling on the front of my lips there.
Still a black pepper, which again, I would liken that to be, that's that earthiness. Mm-hmm. This has definitely been, as we alluded to at the beginning and we kind of expected, this has been a great cigar, just quality all the way through, consistency all the way through, quality and consistency is two great descriptors of everything Oliva touches.
Yeah. It's funny to me that they can build a cigar that stays chocolatey or cocoa-y for so long, and then boom, it's gone.
Yeah.
And, I mean, they made it out of the same stuff, right?
Right.
But again, as you get further back, that disappears and it exposes these things that we can't put our finger on exactly what it is.
It is a really good lesson in your perception of a cigar has a lot to do with what you're doing, how you're paying attention to it, the context that you smoke it in, right? Like, we're in the lab right now, if you will, right?
Correct.
I like that.
But we sit around sometimes and we're occupied with other things.
Yeah.
But sometimes you guys will pull out a stick and light it up and go, guys, you won't believe what I'm getting out of this, because it's different enough and it's something about it and you pay attention.
It comes above the noise.
But there's plenty of times where we will be sitting around for several hours and we smoke multiples and we don't say a word.
Yep.
Because it's the same thing I've smoked a bunch of times and therefore I don't got to pay attention to it.
Yeah.
Okay, gents, we're almost burning fingers now. Let's bring it into contrast with Rocky. Talk about that a little bit. Maybe put a number on this stick. Would you, Ryan? You said you were holding judgment on if you were going to pick the Rocky over the Oliva.
Mm-hmm.
I'll start with the fact that I will probably still would prefer the Oliva. I will say that the Rocky didn't get muddy like this one did and had to blow it out. I remember it staying true with what the flavors were, and we could pick them up, and I didn't have to refresh it.
Yeah.
So on that end, it probably would be better on that scale, but I would still pick this stick over the Rocky just from a personal style, personal flavor profile preference. This stick here for me tonight, I would put it in the. I mean, it isn't like blowing my socks off like a 9 kind of vibe, but probably a good 7.5 for me.
It's right where I'm at. I'm a 7.5 on it. I loved the first third. Flavors there were wonderful. Second third was good. Agree with you on the muddy notes. Back third is actually I would say, other than that, a little bit of that mystery flavor is kind of in the pocket of a lot of other cigars that I smoke. So I have no complaints about it.
No.
Yeah.
It's just that the smoothness and the cocoa on the front end was different enough and enjoyable enough. There were some things about the Rocky Black Swan that I just really liked, though.
Yeah.
It was distinct.
Yeah.
I would say this isn't quite as distinct.
Yep.
I would agree with that.
So that's kind of why I'm at a 7.5. Although, like, that's a solid 7.5, like a confident.
I'm a 7.
Okay.
So we're in the pocket.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed the first 2/3 more than the final third. If this whole stick was like the final third, I would probably rate this higher and go, because the final third is more my go-to, my sweet spot with the spice.
Mm-hmm.
I really enjoyed, because it's different enough, that first 2/3. It was kind of fun. I almost wish it would have stayed there for all the way through. It's a 7. Looking back at my notes, I rated the Rocky an 8.5.
Okay.
And I would, Desert Island, you got to pick one of these two. I'm picking the Rocky.
Okay.
I think I'm getting a lot more mileage out of the Rocky version of the Black Swan than the Oliva.
Okay.
The Corojo wrapper on that Rocky alone
Right.
puts it in a different spot.
I'm a sucker for a Corojo wrapper.
Yeah.
That's been a long-standing favorite wrapper choice of mine for several years now.
So we started the show talking about our Reddit thread. We did offer the last stick to a person.
Yeah. What was it again that somebody comment, chime in?
Yeah, I'll put a thread up and just leave a comment of any kind on that thread. We'll pick a winner from the comments. Now, I'm going to be super clear, listeners. It is against Reddit policy to sell or trade tobacco on Reddit.
Oh.
So I'm doing neither of those things.
Neither.
All you are doing is leaving a comment on a thread.
Yes.
That's all you're doing.
Yes.
There's no transacting.
No. Not at all.
Magically, the Burnt Offerings Fairy will leave something in your mailbox that'll be arranged elsewhere. Yeah, no, leave us a comment. And really, I'd love to know if you've tried this stick in the past. A small batch is a little misleading. This stick has been, you've been able to get your hands on this stick, right?
Yeah.
When they're gone, they're gone. But it's not been such a small batch. So many of you may have smoked this already. We'd love to hear your thoughts on that. We'd love to hear your thoughts on the show. You can go on there. A lot to do on that Reddit page. You can vote for upcoming sticks to do on the show. You can leave comments. And you can show us what you're smoking at any given time, too, because we'd love to know. We're always looking for new stuff to smoke. So definitely, please go do that.
Absolutely.
That's great. Well, gentlemen, I have enjoyed our time again, like usual, and appreciate the hospitality, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Good to be with y'all.
All right. So,
see you guys.
See you next time.
Thanks for listening.
Thank you for listening to Burnt Offerings. Be sure to subscribe on your favorite platform and let us know what you thought of the show.